This is the first parametric one I created. I mainly use the extrude and split body and the polygons components to finish it. This is the second parametric modeling I created. Firstly I used extrude component to cut them to get this object, and then I use a loft and the pattern to get it. So I built a vase. The first is to make the bottle body. The main components I used are a sketch, revolve, offset, plane, split, and shell. And then I drew the curve and used a circular pattern to finish it. For the first freeform I created is a earphone, and I just used the box component to create a object, and then I just used edit form to adjust it, and I also used the extrude component to get this opening. For the second freeform, I created a hair dryer and I used the box to draw the two boxes here, and I both used edit form to adjust it respectively, and then I combined them together and used the fillet to smooth out here. The third freeform one, I created a back seat. Firstly, I imported two images to create modeling easily, and then I used the box component to create an object here, and then I still used the edit form and subdivide to adjust some like here some points or some surfaces, and then I use the utilities to check the details. I'm glad that I fixed this problem already. This is the first assembly modeling. First of all, I drew the circle on sketch when making the bottom, and then I stretched it with extrude and project components. Then the nut was joined with the chamfer component. Next, I used a shell thread to create the details instead. Then the funnel was made with button and extrude. Finally, I mainly used the loft shell and extrude to make the bottle body and the lid. The second assembly model, I created some components at here, and for those components, I mainly use the extrude, project, and fillet components to create. Differently, I use this joint. I used this joint to make them to connect each other, and use this motion to they can have an action like here. Let me show. Yeah, this is the third assembly one I created. Let me show it. First of all, I used extrude, project, and mirror components to finish those objects. For some details, I used move and fillet to make it better. Like here, you can see it. Finally, I created a hand wheel with extrude and fillet components. Finally, to make them work, I used joint component to make them have an action and control this hand wheel to make them work, but it looks so quick.